Seaplane training is winding down with my check ride scheduled for this afternoon. I have just one last flight with my instructor for a mock check ride, and it's time to add that float rating to my commercial certificate. Come follow along for some fun Alaska float flying. Talkeetna, Alaska has been the perfect family summer spot as I work on my commercial seaplane rating. The weather couldn't have been better, and now I'm on my last flight of seaplane training. Sarah and I will go up and do a mock check ride, then it's time for my seaplane check ride with Don Lee, a legendary local bush pilot and DPE.
Alright, Don Lee, exiting and entering the plane. Coming in. He has a really cool way of getting out of the plane, actually. You'll see.
Talkeetna for information. Bravo. Time 1708. Zulu. Wind 240. That's 4. Weather better than 5,000 times. Temperature 2.8. Altimeter 3010. Advising to contact you house. Bravo.
Bravo. I was trying to do some sort of gesture that like reminds me of what it was.
That's good.
This mock check ride is meant to be a lot of me talking and doing, and not so much intervention from Sarah as my flight instructor. As we're right near the check ride, I should be doing everything correctly. So you're going to hear a lot of me talking.
Alright, and what about glassy water? Why is this a glassy water takeoff technique?
Because we are extra sticky, I call it, with our floats and our fluid dynamics. So we want to encourage the plane a little bit to get out of that and fly.
Gotcha, perfect. Very well. Very well. Alright.
If he talks like that, it's going to be laughing the whole time.
No, he does not talk like that.
No, I know.
But,
first rise, second rise. Climbing for terrain to the left and then to the right.
okay. And we are going to Fish Lake, which is dead ahead. There's a little tower sticking up right next to it. If you see that.
Right here?
Yeah.
Okay.
So just like 2 minutes away, straight ahead. Cool. We climb up to 1,200 feet.
So it sounds like Sarah is taking me to the actual lake where I'll be doing most of my check ride this afternoon. So that's really nice. I'll be able to get familiar with that actual area.
The first thing I want to see here is going to be a glassy water landing. So as we're circling the second time here, talk to me about what you're thinking with this lake toward glassy water.
So my abort point is going to be that peninsula sticking out on the right.
Okay.
Would be a good abort point. Obviously approaching from this side, we know that we look at our terrain, our last visual reference.
Alright, what's our last visual reference going to be?
Just this marsh here.
Okay. Yeah, the marsh definitely is your last visual reference. Alright.
Now, am I doing flaps with this combined? Or confined?
No, this one not
Okay, I
confined.
didn't think so.
Primarily a glassy water landing. This little approach should be a bit more confined technique.
Radio helicopter 4377 uniform, North Ranch. Jamaica Bravo, Spartan area to the north, and I have to traffic.
Helicopter 4377
And we've got an aircraft on the water at the far end, no factor. Alright, and we are going to idle taxi, full stop. Water rudder's down. And we are going to go over to this right-hand shore.
Alright, let's see what Sarah has to say about that landing.
And let's talk about that landing there. Self-assessment time. What were you thinking about that?
So my approach was okay. I bubbled up a little bit and added power a little too early. And that kind of kept me higher than I needed to be. So could have done better letting that energy bleed off before I left my last visual reference. And then slowly rolled in the power for the glassy. So that's where I lost it. I just tried to add too much power and that made me land a lot longer.
Okay.
And then I could have had better power control, even though I did lose it. Better power control coming down for that glide.
Yeah, I really did not like that glassy water.
Okay.
This is why. So when we touched down, we were at about 1,500 RPM.
Okay.
You essentially did a normal landing with a glassy water approach.
Okay.
So, if you'd done, disciplined glassy water technique, we wouldn't have gotten down in time, so that's fine. Which usually I like to use the first approach as like a test to make sure you're going to stick to your abort point. The reason we got down in time was because you kind of yanked the power. You didn't yank the power out, but you pulled the power out to get us down, right? Which on actual glassy water is not a viable method, right? I personally would like to see a lot more stabilized power settings the whole way through. So before we lose that marsh, set it, 1900, and any adjustments from there should be like within 100 RPM range.
Okay.
We should not be all the way down at 1500 when we touch down.
Okay.
So I want to see on this next approach coming in, I want you to clear the trees, power to idle, pitch down through that marsh, kind of like how we did at Christensen's. We cleared the trees, power to idle, pitch down aggressively, and then make that transition. You'll be a lot lower over the marsh, but it'll give you, it'll be a lot better. Things I liked about that landing was you had really good airspeed control. I really liked that. You were sitting right at 80 that whole time, which made it so that you didn't balloon too bad. I really liked that part of it. And I like the rest of your pattern too. The approach was nice. I just want a bit more aggressive descent down.
Alright, cool. Fair, thanks.
Remaining humble and teachable as a pilot is incredibly important. I always appreciate an instructor like Sarah, in this case, being direct and telling me what I could have done better. It was very helpful. And so now I know that I can do better next time as long as I execute it as she's asking me to.
Alright, when you clear these trees, cut it to idle. Nose down.
Yep.
Next time I want you coming in over the lower trees over there.
Okay.
Okay, go ahead and make that transition. Got a lot of airspeed. There it is.
Talkeetna radio, flow plane 1046 Victor is 3 miles to the south over the river. We're northwest bound.
Better. You still pulled the power back before touchdown. I would have liked you to keep it in and keep it stable. It was better. Now that this plane has gotten up, we're going to do some step turns. Alright, so like I said on final, do a combo of the first two approaches you did. I want you coming in through the valley.
Okay.
Over the lower part of the trees.
Okay.
Because that approach is how I want you to do it, but we came in over 50-foot trees when there was 20-foot trees right next to it, So come in over those lower trees. We're going to let our wakes dissipate, and then we're going to do that figure 8 step turn thing that we've been doing.
Alright, could have done better at that, it sounds like, but now we're going to work on my real challenge spot during my entire training here, which is step turns.
Alright, let's get going. Go all the way back.
6-1 Papa, thank you.
1 rise, 2 rise.
Okay, radio 918 Mike. LB over the VOR northwest, got a flight plan.
Alright. Now for this lake you gotta really tuck in when you get past the points on both sides, really aggressively.
Okay, I didn't know I was coming over here.
Yeah, tuck into the side.
Southside 2, put me out for an hour.
Good.
45, 2 hours of fuel, Jason.
Just like this. And go ahead and start your left turn here.
Thank you.
Good, very good recovery. Getting back on step. We've got his dissipating wake here that we're going to be going through. Are we on step right now?
No, it's falling off.
Get us back on step. Alright. And now come back here, and I want you to do another left turn.
Okay. In here?
Nope, go past at this far end. We'll still be taking off if this one goes well. But
okay.
Go past that point and then duck in. It'll be a similar terrain.
Gotcha, okay.
So just because it's a smaller area, make sure you're using the whole area. Don't get nervous and, you know, not want to use as much power because it's a smaller area.
Roger.
Don't want the technique to be just as locked in, even though it's a smaller area.
Trapper Creek area traffic, flow plane 2 Sierra Tango is a couple miles south of Scotty Lake, transitioning to the west, 1000.
Alright, tuck into this real aggressive. Good. And then start this left turn. Very, very nice.
Hey, Mike, over the fuel horn.
Keep us on step, don't fall off step. Are we on step right now?
Yeah, I think so.
Not quite, we're almost there. Right there, that would be a little bit more on step. Yeah, this is a lot better. You see, there's plenty of room. This lake's a little bit deceiving in that it feels a bit smaller than it is.
Gotcha.
So keep it coming around, start bringing it full power. We take it off.
Talkeetna radio, Supercut 401, Zulu 10 to the southeast, inbound with Bravo, Talkeetna.
Good, very nice. That second one was a lot better.
Haven't done those in a while.
Yep. Yeah, this lake has plenty of room to do this in. You just have to be aggressive and getting around those corners and so that you have the whole lake to work with. Come back and do another glassy here.
Roger.
Remember, no reported traffic.
Hey y'all, a real quick message here. If you're enjoying this video and doing flight training now or in the near future, check out our online ground school. Pass the written test, prepare for flight training, and become a safe aviator. And you get to support this channel at the same time. Join today at angleofattack.com. Alright, back to the video. Okay, that seemed to go well. Now I want to see if I can finally nail this glassy water landing like she wanted.
Perfect, yep, this is what I was looking for, this straightaway right here. And then kind of come to the left around that little patch of trees.
Area traffic, Seaplane 1562 Alpha is about 3 miles west of Fish Lake, below 1,500 over the river.
Boosting the power, getting down. Very nice, this is how your approach should look. Very, very nice. A little more power, more power. And then patience. Stay on step, going straight ahead. Just on step, don't keep up. Perfect.
Okay, final chance to redeem myself and really nail this landing, although the last one was good, as she said.
Leaving the power in a little longer. Now I'm pulling it.
Okay. Yes, very nice. Alright, let's stay on step. That was beautiful. I loved everything about that. You're 2 for 2 on those. Are you feeling better about your step turns? Like I said, none of the ones you've done were bad.
Yeah, it's the one thing for me that's like the hard thing, right?
Yeah.
I don't know why. It doesn't really matter why. I think it's just a matter of practice to get it back.
Alright, now we're going to do the 90-degree step turn.
That way?
We're going to do a left-hand 90-degree step turn. Keep coming all the way back to
I'll
this
circle
corner.
left. Okay, before takeoff, trim, mixture. Heartbeat's cold, gas. Flaps are good, and water rudder. We'll do that when we come around.
Awesome. And remember, don't rush to start that turn. Make sure you're firmly on step and then do the turn. And through that 90 degrees, you're going to keep kind of feeding more and more power in so that you're at full power for takeoff when you straighten out.
Okay. Alright, water rudder's coming up. First rise, second rise, letting her come down, being nice and patient, drawing back my power now that I'm on step,
And now start that turn.
turning into it.
And here as we're straightening out. Perfect.
A better takeoff attitude.
Very nice. Very, very nice.
Now I'm going to practice the confined area landing, one of my favorite types of seaplane landings.
I mean, I'm already power idle.
Yep, second notch. Be landing right at those swans. But try to come to the left of them a little bit like you're doing.
Yeah, I was gonna straighten out here.
Good. Good. I think because of the swans, it was a little bit, like, weird.
Yeah.
But that was good.
I know you wanted to do a splash and go, but
No, I did not. I'm glad you did, because all these, like, waves in here are kind of making it weird. Yeah, anything you feel like you want to work on more, definitely let me know. I think it'd be
I
good.
feel okay. I don't feel like I'm gonna be a bush pilot today, but
No,
you know.
I feel very good about everything you've done. Those glassies, you know, like 3 attempts at them and then you head them down. I feel good about everything. I just want to do this takeoff and engine out into Christensen.
Okay, that's a wrap here at Fish Lake where the check ride will be. And now we're going to head back to Christensen Lake for a final landing, an emergency landing to kind of polish off the maneuvers I'll be doing in my check ride.
Okay, I'm checking my fuel, everything along here, carpet pull on, mixture and everything. Didn't work.
Alright, you've had the water made, pitch down, you know, get that extra airspeed. Very, very nicely done.
Were you helping on that?
No,
Okay.
not at all. My hand was definitely there, but I did not put any pressure on it or anything. Alright,
Talkeetna traffic, red Skywagon, float plane, over Trap Creek, northbound 1009.
you can see for those engine outs though, it's like, you know, if someone doesn't pull up at that last second, you know, right before touchdown, the dawn will likely be on the yoke. You know, I think any float instructor who is not pretty actively handsy
Like
on the
there,
yoke,
yeah,
it probably
you
hasn't
got
been
to.
doing it very long.
Well, it's the same thing with tail wheel, right? Like you
Yeah.
gotta have like your protective barrier where you don't let people go past it.
Yeah, exactly. So just for your check ride, be ready for that. We're going to park on the very furthest out spot where you're going to be for your check ride.
Okay.
Don is on a check ride right now though, so we're gonna park there and then move the plane after we get out. But let's go, headsets off.
All right, let's see if I can nail this one, the final docking.
Probably not in the right spot. It's okay. It doesn't matter.
Just stay in the plane a little bit longer too. Don't be in a super huge hurry to jump out. Make sure you have the dock made and then jump out like here. Pull left.
Well, it's that coffee.
I know. That was a great flight.
Okay.
And that's a wrap on my seaplane training flights. My next flight, the check ride, is something that isn't recorded for a handful of reasons, mostly private reasons, and that's also a wrap on this series. I do go on to have a very successful and enjoyable time flying with Don Lee on the check ride. It's a rare occasion to fly with the DPE that I generally bring my students to for their check rides for the wheeled stuff that we do. He's just an amazing Alaska aviation legend, and it's great to be able to fly with him a little bit right here on my check ride. Now, this several days was pretty hard, balancing family time with my own seaplane rating and having Nicole, my student here, working on her commercial license on wheels, me as her instructor. So it's been pretty challenging balancing all of that. I wouldn't trade it all for anything though. We made new friends along the way as we played in the water and enjoyed the weather, just the perfect weather in Alaska this time of year, and sat around the campfire telling stories of our training and many stories from the past. It's just great to commit aviation for days around like-minded people that just were really enjoying this whole experience. And even though it's a year later editing this footage, it's also really special to look back and see how much smaller my kids were and just how grateful I am that I brought them along for this family adventure, even though it could have been easier on my own. These kids are just the best, and I want them to be around this, and I'm really, really grateful that even though it was hard, they were there, they got to take part in it. And with that said, I thank my wife for being part of the team that made that happen. She's just so awesome. Also, a huge thanks to Alaska Floats and Skis for the world-class float training, the otherworldly scenery, and the friendly and comfortable stay here at Alaska Floats and Skis. I can't recommend these guys enough, and in fact, I ended up coming back for a ski adventure, which you guys will see more of in a future series. This series is a reminder to even the most experienced aviators to keep learning, stay humble along the way, and always improve yourself. What better way to do that than being surrounded by the best people, the most stunning scenery, and of course, family. Make sure to go back and watch the whole series if you haven't caught it. I'll leave a playlist link in the comments, and you'll see one at the end of the video here as well. Like this video if you liked it, subscribe to stick around as always for aviation training things and Alaska flying, and hit that notification bell so you don't miss a thing. Thanks for coming along, and until next time, throttle on.